My father, he actually started just a small family business called Rhodia, and from that small business, making accessories for filing cabinets, he then set about to start Planex itself in 1972. I guess the most important thing for me is that the company Planex wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for, naturally, my father, but also my mother, who had a critical role in setting up the company. I think she was my moral compass. My father, being an engineer, was very much black and white, whereas my mother was extremely nuanced. Planex was always part of my life, I guess, from 1972 onwards. Once I was in the business for a few years, I decided that I had a keen interest and wanted to run the business. He was very, very straightforward. He said, if you want to run it, you can buy it. And as soon as the papers were signed, he moved out, because he figured that there was no room at the top for two people. He was still involved in some ways. He was still involved in making sure that I was paying every month the correct amount that I had to pay. The only times that I guess he would have been involved would have been when we had acquisition of fairly large pieces of equipment, which had to be funded by the company. At that stage, he would ask to see, I guess, a good reason for doing so. So when we outgrew our factory in Cheltenham, he was quite happy for us to look at another factory which we built here in Hallam. Planex has always been pretty much at the forefront of innovation, and that started off with my father. It was probably one of the first small businesses around to have computers. We purchased numerically controlled machines at a very early stage so that we could run things automatically. We moved away from the old-fashioned type of manufacturing technology. I remember the last time my father came to Planex. When he saw the machinery, he could feel what was happening. And he was actually really excited to see the machinery. The reason that I brought him out here was because of the fact that he seemed to be sort of closing into his own little shell, and that gave him an opportunity to come out of his shell. One of the big things that I'm extremely proud of is that we're a manufacturing company that started out 50 years ago, and we're still a manufacturing company.